Hello, welcome to the Woodturning podcast. My name's Mark.
And my name is Will. Welcome.
And I am Garry. How you doing?
In this episode, Will makes an enchanted rose display. Mark has a score with Tru-Grit. And Garry talks about his trip to Colwyn Way.
How you doing, chaps? You all right? Good evening.
Hello, Mark. There you go.
All good yourself?
Yep, not bad at all, thank you. Recently came back from my lesson with Colwyn Way down in Hampshire.
Oh, yeah. Hey, how did it go?
Yeah, it was very good, actually. Bear in mind, it's the first sort of formal lesson thing I've ever been to since I've been turning. I've just come up for 2 years turning. And, it was the first one I'd sort of been to. And, yeah, it was good. It almost sort of made it feel, oh, okay, this is how you're supposed to do it. And
really?
It was very informative. It was called Taming the Skew, and so it was all around the skew. So it wasn't so much sort of like a project based course, as in you're going to make one of these. It was around this is around how you use the tool, and obviously doing a few things. But yeah, it was down in the Hampshire Sheen place, and there was only, I think that's the max people it can have. I think there was 5 of us, and then Colwyn in this little bit out the back, obviously all had their own lathe and whatever. So it was very sort of like personable and whatever. It was good, a really nice bunch of guys. They give you a nice coffee and all that for breakfast because it's at the back of a garden centre. And then you go in there and you pick all your lunch and all that. And the woodturning was quite good as well. But but yeah, overall it was really good. I mean, he's so good, Colwyn Way, with regards to sort of like the way he explains things and all that, and everyone was sort of like saying the same thing about it, about how useful it was, etc., etc. And then,
did he reset any of your bad habits, or did he point any of your bad habits out?
Yeah, so he made me pick the skew up again.
Did you drop it?
No, to be honest, I have been using the skew a bit in my time, but not for what I should have been using it for. It's almost like I've been using it as scraping and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing wrong with using one as a negative rate scraper. Nothing.
No, I know. There's not anything wrong, but the whole thing around sort of like being able to use it properly and getting a decent finish on a bit of wood and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it sort of like dispelled the myth of the evilness of the skew and understanding why you're getting catches and stuff like that. And obviously you're still going to get them, but you can sort of, you don't then, once you have one, put it down and go, ooh, I'm not going to touch that for another month. But yeah, so all in all, it was a good day. Went down the night before, so because it's a bit of a trek for me, it's a couple of hours or whatever. So went down the night before, absolutely hammered. It was great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With Colwyn or just on your own?
No. My missus came because she went shopping like on the day when I went and done the course, and then she's come pick me up on the way back. So all in all, yeah, it was a good weekend, and it did make me think about, well, actually, I'll do a couple more. And actually, the guys we was with, we set up a little WhatsApp group, all the guys that was on it, and we sort of been messaging each other since and all that sort of stuff. And obviously everyone's got different experiences and stuff like that. Yeah, one of the guys, he does loads of stuff. He's got this massive CNC machine.
Oh, really?
And Jesus Christ, it's got, like, when he's putting pictures up, I was going, it looks like you've got a whole room just for this CNC machine. And he makes guitars and all sorts of stuff, resin tables and and luckily for him, he was literally round the corner from where they do their courses, right? So he's been on about 6 or 7 because it's literally like less than 10 minutes for him to get there.
We've got nothing like that in Essex. Simon Hope occasionally does classes through the AWGB. There was a thing on Facebook today that me and Steve Radford were chatting about. Someone was asking for lessons here in Essex. Apparently there is a chap by the name of Mike Henson. He used to teach at Basildon Community College, but he now teaches out of his home. So might be worth having a chat if you needed. No, none of us need lessons. We're pros, but yeah. We don't get things
It's
wrong.
interesting, yeah.
So what did you make, or was it just a random?
Basically, we sort of done sort of like a small little table leg, so you're sort of like doing B's and coves and whatever. A little tiny sort of skew actually out of a really sort of small bit of oak. So you're again doing all this sort of like ins and outs, ups and downs type thing. And one of the first bits was just literally doing a load of beads and just sort of like practicing them, going over and over and over again. And to be honest, like when I first came back, with all the best will in the world for the first sort of, I can't remember how long it was, probably about the first week. Whatever I was doing down there, at the end of it, I was going, got to do that, got to get another bit on there and do another load of those and just stack them on the side and sort of like, try and I was thinking, if I keep doing it, repetition and all that, I probably lasted about a week. And just like
could have made a batch of candlesticks, candlestick holders,
random candlesticks with with the odd catch in marking them, and completely random shape.
So, what type of skew were you using? Was it a flat skew, half rounded, full rounded, flat bar?
He had a number of different ones there. Yeah, he had a number of different ones there, but I was actually using one of his ones. So he does got these signature Colwyn Way ones that he's brought in from Germany, I think it was, and they're sort of like they're wide. I bought one. I've bought one since. Yeah, I was going to buy one beforehand, but I wasn't sure what size to get.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So when I went down there, I used one of his, and I was using the 19mm. So I bought that, but I think I'm going to get the 32 anyway. But yes, it's a decent tool. But when I first come back, because I didn't have one, I was just using my bog standard flat one.
So they're wider at the end than they are at the handle.
Yeah,
does have to be different, doesn't he?
It's not. He hasn't invented them. All he's done is put his name to it. It's this.
Oh right, okay.
And he's done it with a crown. I think it's
Crown Cryo.
Yeah.
Same as Simon Hope's one's a crown.
Yeah.
Oh, are they? I didn't know that.
All of his signature tools are crown. Yeah, the cryo, which is meant to be better than standard tool steel.
Yeah, that's the M42 stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, but all in all, very good, very very interesting.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I'll have to look that other guy up. Mike Henson, did you say?
Yeah,
Mike used to do them. Didn't he do the Muppets?
Yeah,
that's Jim.
Jim Henson.
Jim Henson. His brother.
Fun fact about all of that: it was filmed here in the UK.
Was it?
Yeah,
I'm going to go and get a wood turning lesson with Fuzzy Bear.
Yeah, Fuzzy Kermit the Frog. Actually, it'd be Animal, the one that would scare you, wouldn't it?
He only uses a skew. That's it.
Or the Swedish Chef. Can you imagine trying to get a wood turning lesson from the Swedish? I'm demonstrating at Sandon in January. I might do that.
Just see how aggressive they are to what tool they use. Big Bird only ever touches a negative rake scraper. It's got to be safe. What have you guys been up to then?
Right, so I had a bit of a result with Tru-Grit, actually. Tru-Grit a little while ago asked a question on Facebook as to what people thought about their product.
I saw that.
And the biggest feedback they had was the product itself was good, but the cardboard carton it came in was not so good. Yeah, that's being polite. The words that we used, it was. I've said it to them since. It's shit. The cardboard packaging is rubbish. It just melts with the oils of the finish. They understood that, and they've changed it. They've gone over to plastic packaging, recycled plastic packaging. They're little clear tubs. It's plastic packaging. There's not a lot you can say about it itself. But I phoned them up. No, I didn't. I messaged them on Instagram. I said, "Have you gone over to your plastic packaging yet? Because I've run out." And although I don't have a problem with Easy Wood Tools, who own Yorkshire Grit, it's since using Tru-Grit, I actually prefer it over Yorkshire Grit.
Oh dear, that's interesting.
I've also used the Chestnuts cut and polish, and I didn't get on with that nearly as much either.
What do you prefer?
I prefer the Tru-Grit, actually. I did ask them about sponsorship. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do like them as a product. So yeah, I messaged them. I said, "Have you gone over to plastic packaging?" Yeah, we've got it, but it's not at every retailer yet. So it's best if you just buy it from Taylor Mansfield, as we know they've got the plastic packaging in stock. Turns out Tru-Grit is owned by Taylor Mansfield. So obviously Taylor Mansfield.
Taylor Murfield, you mean, right?
Murfield, sorry, yeah, Murfield, not Mansfield.
Yeah, Murfield sounds...
Murfield, yeah, because that's where they are, isn't it? Taylor Murfield. Yeah, Taylor Murfield. Yeah, so they own Tru-Grit. And I didn't know this straight away. Oh yeah, okay, I'll order it from Taylor Murfield. And I got the brown and the white, and it comes in clear packaging, so you know what's what. And I messaged Taylor's and I said, I've just ordered it. Can you make sure I get the plastic packaging, please? And the same bloke messaged me back from Taylor's that messaged me back on Instagram from Tru-Grit. I was like, didn't you just message me on Instagram? He said, yes. Yeah, I did tell you they had it in stock. I was like, yeah, but I was just making sure. This conversation happened. Hang on, let me just look it up on Instagram, or I'll get you the proper times for it, because this is possibly some of the best service I've ever had. So this happened a week ago, and I messaged them started the conversation at 4:35 in the evening. The order is placed just before 5 o'clock with Taylor Murfield, thinking, well, they'll process it tomorrow. They'll send it the day after, or they'll send it tomorrow. I'll get it maybe a couple of days after, sort of beginning of next week or whatever, the following week. No, I had it by 10 a.m. the following day.
Oh, that's really good.
No messing around. It was just like, yeah, no, it's been sent. It will be with you tomorrow.
Was that geezer on your doorstep with it?
He's travelled 250 miles to drop it off to me.
Yeah. No, weren't you the one who answered me on Instagram? Weren't you the one who answered me? Oh, you're at my door.
God, we run out of plastic ones, but it's a cardboard one.
I was half expecting a cardboard one. 200 miles. No, post office delivered it. Good old post office. I couldn't believe the service from that. And the communication backwards and forwards with them. The answer on Instagram was immediate. Yeah, no, I had a proper. I know it's the plastic packaging. They haven't changed the formula. It's still good stuff. I use it on everything. So I know you don't get on with it, Will, but
I wasn't overly keen. That's why I was interested to see what it was that you liked about it, because I thought it was a bit thick and gummy, and not that I actually use an awful lot of it, because actually I haven't used it for probably years now.
I think that's what I quite like about it. You don't need much. You can use it quite sparingly.
Maybe that's what it was.
You don't have to go heavy-handed. It's one of those ones where less is more.
Yeah, okay. So that probably is. Yeah, probably is because of that then.
And it requires the heat. It requires friction, because it's not like a sandpaper is like 400 grit. This stuff starts at 1 grit level, but as you use it, it thins out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and like Yorkshire Grit does. I don't know if Chestnuts is the same, but
I used to use Yorkshire Grit, the coarse and the fine, actually, and then it was just a matter of like when I run out and they'd sort of gone over to the double the price essentially. It was like, okay, I'm going to try the Tru-Grit, but I still had the Yorkshire Grit fine, and I find it does the job just as good. And funny enough, you said about the cut and polish chestnut stuff. I've got some of that as well. And it was actually when I was watching a demo by Tiny Turner, and she was talking about, it was about doing resin actually, and she was talking about the different ones, and she said that the cut and polish is almost sort of like, the coarse, it starts the coarsest, then it goes what was Yorkshire Grit, sort of coarse, which is the same as Tru-Grit essentially, and then the fines, because they've both got fines out now, haven't they? And I found that, so it's almost like you could start using cut and polish from a 240 onwards, whereas Yorkshire Grit you're using from a 400 onwards. So depending on if you got something that's pretty rough and you've got some cut and polish there, then go in with that first. And I generally don't. I only need to start with the Tru-Grit, but if I've got something that's a little bit, I think, well, I could try the old cut and polish, and it does seem to work a little bit more coarser.
What I found with the Yorkshire Grit is that the oils have separated.
All right.
So I've got a layer of liquid over the top.
Yeah, it's a bit,
and I have to mix it all up beforehand. Whereas my old tub of Tru-Grit, because I had the cardboard when they first released the fine, I bought it straight away because of the problems I was having with the Yorkshire Grit one, which was an older tub of Yorkshire Grit, not the newer stuff. So and the Tru-Grit stuff hasn't separated.
Yeah,
still got a little bit of that left. So whatever the formula Tru-Grit are using is, I have just found it better. But I say less is more. You don't have to. It's with Yorkshire Grit. I found if I was doing the resin work, I'd have to lathe off. You apply it and then turn the lathe on, and you needed to use quite a bit of it because it's soaked into the wooden parts. If you were doing a mixed material turn, and it would soak into the wood. Whereas I haven't found that with the Tru-Grit. I haven't found it soaking in. It does its job. But yeah, the service from them was brilliant. I can't fault either of the two companies.
If they did one that wasn't oil based, I would probably use that quite a lot. But because it's oil based, that's I never use it, because as soon as you put it on something, that's it. That is your finish kind of done, unless you're going to put wax over the top. But you can't put a lacquer over the top of Yorkshire grit or.
But surely the oils wouldn't. Oh no, I suppose because you did a mixed material, don't you? So it would be in the wood.
Yeah. But the point is that if you go over it with the Yorkshire grit and then there's something you want to go and touch up again, you get your lacquer out and it never dries,
Yeah, it reacts to that. And I think it's on the list for chestnut products, because chestnut product does a list of what's compatible with what.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And their cut and paste it's not compatible with as much as you'd think it would be.
Yeah.
So it's only really compatible with things like friction polish and then the wax 2023, is it? Wax
22.
22, that's it.
I never used that either.
I do. That's all right, actually.
Microcrystalline. I use that a lot. It's a much I don't know if it's much better than the wax 22, but I find it's much better than. It's good as a last layer over friction polish. So friction polish will get you the shine, and then the microcrystalline gives you sort of the harder coating, and the protection of.
But that's more for. Well, you can use it on everything, but it's supposed to have sort of like a better formula. So if something's going to be handled a lot, it needs a higher temperature to sort of like melt it or something, doesn't it? So if something's going to be handled a lot, use that. And if it's something like for display, then the Wood Wax 22 is going to do the job.
I have got the Wood Wax 22, but I just. I don't know, it's just sort of my go-to. But my microcrystalline, I tend to use, although I've got the chestnut stuff, I tend to use the Hampshire Sheen stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Although I was a bit bemused by their Instagram the other day. He came online, I can't remember which one of them came online, said, "Oh yeah, we've got a new formula for our microcrystalline wax, which is now non-toxic." I thought your microcrystalline has always been non-toxic and safe for kids and food.
No wonder my granddaughter had a green mouth the other day when she was chewing on that rackle.
Well, that's why I bought the Hampshire Sheen stuff originally, because it was the only one that says on the packaging food and toy safe.
I only thought the gloss finishing wax, and that's why, because it is supposed to be food safe.
And the chestnut stuff didn't say it, although speaking to their rep, it is, because I make baby rattles, so it was just one of those things. But it's like, have you been lying to us, or are you just trying to boost your new product? Yeah. But again, I'm not brand I was speaking to Chestnut beginning of the year. I was after sponsorship from them. I use a lot of Chestnut products, and I said to them, "Look, could we work out a sponsorship thing? I'm not after money, but after product. New products coming out or whatever. Can I?" And they said, "No, we don't do that. And we will only ever promote an Instagram post that A, we like, and B, only has our products in it." And where I mix between all of them, that very rarely happens, especially not when I'm using my own finish as well, the dovetail stuff. I can't fault them. I mean, obviously you don't use them, Will, but yeah, Gary's had some good feedback with them as well. So
moving on, what's the project you got on the go at the moment, Will? Got any new ones going?
Yeah, I've got a wicked project on at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And it came from, it was actually a request for an egg. And I randomly got I really like your eggs. Can I personalise it? I said, yeah, no problem. She said, well, what I really want is, I want one that's got some gold and blue in, and I want another one that's got a picture in it. I went, yeah, I can do both. And then she put, the reason I want the blue and the gold one, because I'm a massive fan of Beauty and the Beast.
All right.
And I thought about it. So I went back to her and I said, look, well, instead of having an egg, I've got a YouTube channel, and actually I could do you. I'll do you the enchanted rose, so the rose in the resin. So I'm doing that at the moment. I have a rose that actually kind of next to me in silica.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, dried out. I sent Doris up the road to buy herself like a dozen red roses for £3 at Tesco the other day.
First time you've done that in 3 years.
I
can't even buy your wife roses.
And so that is project for the weekend. That is, so I'm gonna make it quite big.
Yeah. How long are you leaving it in the silica?
I'm hoping it's going to be done by the weekend, if I'm honest.
What is your tell to say? Is it done? It's not gonna ding until you're finished, is it? So you've obviously got to gauge it yourself.
As long as it's dry enough, I'll probably coat it anyway. I'll probably lacquer it anyway.
Okay,
I did on the other roses that I did, and they came out well.
Are your silica beads the ones that change colour?
No,
I didn't get them ones either.
No, I haven't. So are you going to put a nice mahogany or oak base to it as well?
Yeah, so I'll do it with Malibel. So I'll do it with Malibel, and I'll colour the Malibel up. That's why I bought some pigment from the Tiny Turner, because she does like the red, the pigment that you can't really get hold of.
Yeah,
like the fire kind of the reds and the oranges. So I'll do it in that, and then I'll put the rose in, and then we'll cast over it, and then shape it up like a lantern, and I'll polish it up, and it should come out pretty wicked, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah, look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I'm quite excited. I'm quite excited to get into that.
Just be careful when you're putting it up on YouTube that you don't mention anything for Disney, and they end up selling you off.
Yeah. I've done that before in the past.
Giveaway. Get some attention, though. Oh, that's all right. That's good, then.
Yeah.
Is the customer? Is she like fine with hanging around, not putting you under pressure or anything like that?
Yeah. So what I said to her was, look, I'll do this. I'll film it. I'll put it on YouTube, whatever, and I'll do it for you for the price of what I would have charged you an egg for, and I'll make it like twice the size. And
nice.
Well,
yeah, because you'll get your sponsor videos out of it.
Yeah. The resin's free. So that's the job for the weekend. So I had the burn order. Got the burling the other day. That looks quite good. I'm going to cast it in like a kind of a plastic tub thing.
Right. Okay.
So where did you get the burl from?
Woodwise.
Oh, okay.
Is my main supplier. Probably own. There is a couple others that sometimes I use, but only if Woodwise have run out.
Nice. I got some the other week. I spoke to the guy at Mould Resin, and he said that he'd sort of send me some of their deep pour stuff, because I was going to look to start doing a bit of a small river table just to get into it. But he just said, I'll just give you some deep pour stuff. And on Mould Resin, they do I think it's on a monthly turnaround. They do loads of different moulds and whatever. And once a month, they have one mould reduced down to £1. So you can just sort of buy that mould for £1 that particular month.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to him that month, they had this one. It's like a little skull mould.
Yeah.
About that big.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I said to him, "Oh, chuck Wenham in with you because I want to have a little play with it." And he goes, "Yeah, all right, I'll throw one in." Anyway, so I've had it there, and I was contemplating doing stuff with it for ages, just never got round to it. And then my missus was having a clear out of her hobby room, anyway, sorry. And she had this really thick wall, and she was going to throw it out. I was going, "Oh, give me that. I'll take some of that." Anyway, so I had this wall, and I was just thinking, I'm just going to put that in the skull mold, put the resin in, clear resin, see how it comes out. So when I went down the workshop, it was a absolute tip like the day before or whatever. So I was having a bit of a tidy up, and since I've had that new workshop, it's got loads of really bright lights. So, and it's not in the middle of nowhere, but it's right down the end. There's no lights anywhere near it. So there's no light pollution other than that. It's just like Close Encounters type thing. So all the moths and all that are just on the windows, like let me in, and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, but I've been getting hornets, right? Because they come to light as well, and these things are massive. They're inch and a half or whatever, like wasps thing. Yeah. And they've been coming in, and when they come in, it's like I ain't leaving him in here because just in case they nest or something like that. Right?
Yeah, last thing you need.
So yeah, and the night I was actually moving in there with all my gear from my garage, and my mate was helping me as well. We had obviously both the doors open, and the stuff was in there, and he's chasing them around with this massive bit of wood, right, whacking them, and they just literally they drop down. You just hear them hit the ground like this. Anyway, so that was a few weeks ago. So I was clearing up last week, and as I was sweeping all the sawdust up, I found a dead hornet, and I was thinking, hold on a minute, I could.
Oh yeah, I know what you're going to say. Oh, brilliant!
I was thinking, this is going to be wicked, right? Anyway, so I thought, right, I'm going to leave him on the table there, and then when I come to do the resin, I'll do it. And then the next night, I completely forgot about it. It was clearing up, and I got my new sort of dust collector with the great big sort of like guzzler nozzle, like so big. And I sort of put it down, and just I rested it on the table. I saw the hornet. I thought, no, like that, and I pulled it away, and it just went straight up the thing. And I lost it. I was thinking, for God's sake. Anyway, so I was clearing up the other side, and then I found a spider, and he was quite big, completely dead, not squashed. So I was thinking, I'm having this. I'm not going to hoover him up this time. So basically, I sort of got him on the bench, and I was trying to like pull his legs out and sort of like make him look like he was still alive.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm going to put him first in the bottom of the skull mold, like in the top of the Swede, and then flipped over, and then put the wool on top of him, and then pour the resin in. Anyway, so it's come out now, and you can see him on the top, but I still haven't polished it and all that. So I'm hopefully going to do that this weekend. I was thinking, I hope I haven't crushed it and whatever. And when I look, it just looks like, it's almost like, when a kid's got like a bow in their hair, like here, it's just like the spiders in the skull, in the skull on top of all the wall and whatever. So
I reckon that would come out wicked.
Yeah, but I just thought, like, when they're dead, you're not doing any harm to anything, are you?
No.
I'm gutted I lost the hornet, right? But it just makes me think, what about them? Do I need to put it in silica or not? What do you reckon? I didn't do it with the spider, so still happens.
No, I wouldn't. You might want to. It depends how liquidy they are. And if they're quite big.
Depends how long you've been laying around, right?
Yeah, I don't know. You have to Google like how long before rigor sets in on a hornet.
Yeah, I think I might get done for something. Look, searching for that.
Rigamortice
on a hornet.
Rigamortice on a hornet. That might have to be the title of the episode, I think.
I've got a butterfly that I bought donkeys months and months ago. I got it off Etsy.
A real one?
Yeah, a real one, and it was quite expensive. It's like 30 odd quid, and it's really pretty. And I thought I'd put that in resin, but I kind of forgot about it until you mentioned like hornets and spiders.
You know where it is?
Yeah, I know where it is. Yeah, I found it the other day.
I
was like attached to a bit of cardboard, so it's well protected.
Oh, right, cool.
When I did the workshop, I binned it, and it's now a shame that I did. When we did the bottom of the garden, we found a dead fox. Just the skeleton of the fox. He'd been dead a long time.
That would be quite a big bit of resin, that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's deep pour, that is.
That is deep pour. Well, most of the bones we threw away, but we kept the skull, because we found the jaw and all the teeth and everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I gave it to my son, and he took it to school with him. And this was while he was still at primary school. And he was dishing the teeth out to his mates. Like, oh yeah, do you want a tooth? You can have a tooth. And he's handing his teeth out to him. Can't pitch him up after school. Jack, where's the teeth gone from the fox? Oh, I was giving them to me mates. Why? Well, they wanted a tooth. Oh, okay, they want a tooth. Whatever. What do you want me to do with the skull? Can you put it into resin?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, of course I can. And I never did. And then when I moved the workshop around, I binned it. And now I'm wishing I hadn't, because I would have given it to you, Will, and you could have done something.
I would have had a go at doing that with that.
Apart from half a dozen missing teeth, it was a complete fox skull.
Yeah, that's wicked.
I've got a part sheep skull. When I went away last year, I think it was, in the middle of nowhere, I was like walking up this hill. I just found it. Straight away, these days, that's what the first thing goes your head. Can I put that in resin?
Can you
everywhere you go? Yeah, 100%. I was thinking defo, and it's almost like it's got the sort of main chunk bit here, and then like two sort of bits that come around the side. I bet the rest of it's sort of gone. But when you look at the top bit, it's almost like, that thing when they say babies and that when they're first born, their skull isn't formed and it still grows over, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And it fuses or whatever.
Yeah.
On the top, you can almost sort of see it. Almost looks like it's stitched together, like three bits. Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, but it's not massive, so it could be done in resin. It's just about what sort of shape would you put it in or whatever like that. And is it just on its own, or you need to spice it up or something?
The idea I had
maybe a hornet.
The idea I had with the fox's skull was standing it on end, casting it in resin, and then slicing it and turning it into coasters.
Oh yeah, that's different.
So you'd have a cross section of the bone in each coaster, and then when it was stacked up, you could perhaps see it.
You guys follow BM Sculptures?
No.
So what he does is he takes like carcasses. Probably not really. So he'll make skulls out of wood and then finish them off in resin and sculpture them. I'm just wondering about your ram's head and whether you put like some wooden horns on it and like cast it up, so as a lump, and then it's going to take you a while to do. That's for certain, but it would look pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm just looking at him now.
Could you not put the ram's skull in the table you're going to be making?
No, because the table I've sort of pretty much done the first part of it. It's only really thin because that would have to be really deep to do that, because it's probably about 4 inches deep, 3-4 inches deep, the skull.
Right. Okay.
So it'd have to be sort of, the table would have to be that deep. So
is that David Mayer's sculpture, the sculpture person you just mentioned?
BM
Sculptures. Oh, bravo, Mike.
Is it Bob McFarlane? Brian McFarlane?
Yeah, he's done a polar bear here.
Yeah, polar bear. Yeah, it's one that he's done. Yeah, it's done like a T-Rex.
Oh, a killer whale type thing.
Killer whale. Yeah, so like the stuff he does is proper decent.
Skull on here. Oh, he got They're very good, aren't they?
Yeah, they look like wicked.
What's the Brutus the Buckeye made from?
Oh, no.
That looks like it's made from bike tires.
Yes, it is bike tires. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the crocodile's made of tires as well.
Yeah. It's quite good. It's a good channel.
That resin company you use, Garry, is that mould as in MOULDD?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I really do need to get back into the resin game. I really do.
He's done a skull actually. He's done a skull on there. That guy with like half of it as wood.
Yeah.
Wonder how much that sold for.
Yeah, fair amount. I know they take him a long time.
Well, there's an idea. You can make a crystal skull out of resin.
I mean that one that he's done there. Okay, granted, it's pucker from the point of view of like it's almost part of the side, a bit like Terminator. Part of the side of it's wood and it's resin. You could just grab that mold thing that I got, and just whack bits of wood in it, and then just pour the resin in, and then you just have little bits of wood floating about, and you're not doing any carving and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, true.
The more stuff you put in it, obviously, the less resin you've got to put in it.
Yeah.
You're sounding like Cadbury's now. The more stuff they put into their chocolates, the less chocolate you get.
What's most expensive, the chocolate or the chocolate in it?
Yeah, it's the chocolate that costs. Yeah, they've openly admitted to it as well. The chocolate is so expensive these days to produce a chocolate bar cheap enough. They're having to put more in it.
Yeah,
which is why you'll find the white chocolate and fruit and nut and all the rest of that sort of thing is slightly cheaper than their
and the cocoa,
than the dark chocolate and the other bits.
We digress.
Well, yeah, we do. I went there on holiday a couple of weeks back. Good week away. I see what you think of this. It was divisive at the time. One of the on the Wednesday we had a 6-course taster menu at the hotel we were staying at, and it was absolutely glorious. But the pudding divided the room. The description was chocolate, sweet corn, and sherry. That was the description we were given. What turned up was 3 dark chocolate crema balls with toffee popcorn and a sherry vinegar. And then in the middle was a bright mustard-coloured frozen ball of thing. And it turned out to be sweet corn sorbet.
Oh, yeah, slightly weird. Yeah.
It worked well. It was absolute. Yeah. I found it beautiful. It was lovely. Half the table thought it was disgusting.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange combo, I must admit. But,
sweet corn I could eat a tub of it. It was lovely, but the others couldn't. It wasn't the strangest ice cream we had that week. We had a Jerusalem artichoke ice cream and a mushroom ice cream.
Oh, really?
Mushroom, nice.
Yeah.
Mushroom. It's called Sep ice cream, made from the Sep mushroom.
I bet it looked good in a cone.
It was grey.
Yeah.
No ice cream should.
You just say could have come in a cone.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Grey ice cream is not the way forward.
So I've got a question for you. Have either of you ever bought anything tool or supplies related from that AliExpress?
No.
So
yes.
It's obviously similar to Temu, right?
Yeah. No.
I've heard some people say it's good for certain things and not so good for others. And I just noticed on the other day they have pen blanks and stuff like that on there, and they are reasonably priced. But what have you had from there, Mark?
Switches, computer parts, mostly for things like the little laser and the 3D printer. So stepper motors, and that sort of thing. They're so mass produced that places like Alibaba are selling them at a couple of quid each. You can't go wrong with them. The thing with these
Alibaba is different to AliExpress.
Sorry, AliExpress. I was thinking of Doner kebabs. Yeah. Sorry, AliExpress.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
The fish the kebab shop in town called Alibaba, who do deep fried kebab. That's a heart attack. No, AliExpress. No, things like switches and that sort of thing you can get from them, no problem at all, because they're made in such vast numbers. I think I pointed you towards a Chinese company that did blanks and pen kit parts and things like that.
Not talking
Garry,
about resin or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the bulk one, isn't it? Where all the companies get them from. You got to buy 4 million of them
to get a good price. Well, companies like AliExpress and Temu, China gives them back postage as well as giving them tax rebates for shipping internationally. And at the moment, the Chinese authorities don't charge Chinese companies export duty, which is why companies like AliExpress and Temu do so well, because although they have to pay shipping initially, they get it back.
Yeah, okay.
That's why
AliExpress seem to charge more postage than Temu, though.
Yeah. But they get that back. So they're making, when you combine the price of the product plus the price of shipping, it comes out at a reasonable price. But AliExpress gets the shipping back. So they're making, let's say you've paid 10 quid shipping, well, they get another 10 quid back from the Chinese government. Now, that doesn't happen all the time. China drops in. The Chinese government drops in and out. A mate of mine orders a hell of a lot from AliExpress, and he told me that's what they do, which is why they're so cheap.
Yeah, that is interesting, that, because I'm having a bit of an argument with the company that I bought an external hard drive from. Have you ever heard of OnBuy?
No.
Yeah, and I think that's a bit like a Temu or an AliExpress. And I've used up my 4 gig hard drive.
I'm not surprised when one video is 70 gig.
Yeah, I was like, do I like ditch all the original files on me? What's name? I could do, and I thought, no, I won't. I'll buy a hard drive. And I thought I'll just have a quick Google and see what I can get one for. Otherwise, it's going to be 8 quid from Amazon. And this company popped up on buy, and it was like 4 gig external hard drive, shockproof, bomb-proof, 25 quid. And I thought, oh Jesus, right, okay, we'll have some of that. Right, put it in once. Transferred some files to it, and now the drive is stuck. I can't do anything with it. I've lost part of the project.
Oh, no.
Kind of annoying. So anyway, I've been having a row with them recently in the last couple of weeks or so.
What's the feedback? What's the response times like from them?
It wasn't bad. It came from China, so it was probably 10 days, I guess.
I mean, as in your, customer service, as in now you're asking questions of them, are they? Yeah, so
OnBuy themselves, they're kind of like a broker, and it's a bit like eBay, if you like. That there is a guy at the end, an OnBuy, the brokers, and this guy's been a proper prick, and it's been going to and from, and in the end, I put a complaint into OnBuy, and now they're doing something about it. So I'll let you know on the next episode. But unfortunately, it was a bit too good to be true.
Yeah, I'm just looking at their site now. Yeah.
Don't buy the hard drives. Well, if you do, you'll probably find a review on there, and it's not a glowing one.
But the actual company has got a 4.2 out of 5 on Trustpilot, and Google says it is a scam advisor, 100% trust. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. And now I'm going to get notifications from them. Put a stop to that. Yeah, so the company itself looks like it's okay.
Yeah. But for example, if you look on Amazon Express, like those sort of like you was doing, Mark, those sort of burr and resin pen blanks.
Amazon Express.
£1.49.
Amazon Express.
But AliExpress. £1.49, but then the shipping £4.23.
Yeah, but that still works out at a good price for what it is.
It's not that good.
Well, no, because you can make them yourself. You play with resin.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. So on Temu don't seem to do the mug off with the pricing stuff. Sometimes Temu's a classic for if I start going through and like doing the old, what can I put in resin? It's like, just get loads of stuff, beads and other beads and bigger beads and thing like, look, they're only that much, and that's free shipping or whatever. And they turn up and they're like, fuck, 2 mil. What? Thought it was a golf Oh,
yeah, we've been there, done that.
Yeah, I mean, I've bought a fair amount from AliExpress over the years. I have bought LEDs from them, like the LED rope, strings and things like that. A lot of it is all made in China anyway.
Yeah.
So being sold by a Chinese company and shipping it over here doesn't make any difference to going on Amazon and buying it from someone who's already bought it from AliExpress or whatever.
Right,
it's I've not had a problem with them, but I can see where people can have problems with them. And that was the same. Do you remember Wish?
Yeah,
I do remember them. Yeah.
Exactly the same. They're all the same base. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if they're all the same company, just operating under.
And me neither.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure somewhere along the way you can find them, the company name.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you can
make your own
pronounce it anyway.
I'm sure make yourself a silicon mold up for resin for pen blanks and make your own pen blanks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know you can do it. It's just that when you see something and you think it's that cheap, like £1, you go, it's cheaper than the aggro doing it yourself.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's like that site I pointed you to. You can shop for an hour and throw in loads of pen blanks and kits and goodness knows what. And it's only when you then get to the checkout and they go £130 delivery.
Yeah.
What,
mate? It was more than that. I done it. It was like over £300 delivery.
Oh,
it
really?
was just like
it's ridiculous,
stupid, absolutely.
And then the UK government wants 20% of whatever the order total is, and that includes shipping. So you've got to pay 20% of whatever your order is to HM Revenue and Customs when it turns up here before you can have it delivered. So if you're spending £400, delivery included, £80 of that has to go to the government.
UK,
on top, So it's just cheaper if you allow CS Crafts to do it for you. I go through CS Crafts for it all. Which reminds me, I need to put an order in because I've run out of crochet hooks.
Oh, I have thought about doing that, I must admit, because I've always got loads of leftover resin.
What, making the blanks?
Making blanks,
Yeah, making blanks, yeah.
We would love you for it, especially if we got a discount.
Just sell the resin. Just sell the resin.
I'll do it for £250 delivery.
Well, you go and buy Shanghai. Got a little holiday first, and then bring it back with you.
Yeah, he'll take a mini suitcase to Iceland and back next time he goes up that way.
So,
but no, I mean,
if there's anything that I always have left over, it's leftover bits of burl and leftover resin.
Well, why don't you? I mean, it's just a pen blank. Can you just pop the bits?
Yeah, I should do it. If I got the mould cheap from somewhere, then I'll make you some.
Do you want mine? I don't use it.
Yeah. If you want to give it to me, then I'll give, because I don't turn pens.
No, but me and Garry both turn.
Yeah, so you
crochet hooks and stuff.
Have the blanks.
Because
sounds good.
Yeah, I was when I was playing with resin a lot more. That's what I was doing with the leftovers. And you quickly go to the bandsaw and trim it up so it fits, and then with the leftovers. Well, it's an incentive for you to turn up to Chelmer Valley next week, really, because I'll bring my sphere jig with me as well.
Yeah, okay.
How much is postage?
And
then you £50.
No, I'm talking about him to send you his sphere jig.
And then you get your tub of finish as well, which is still sitting on my shelf. And I'm fairly sure that you're owed £20 from the AWGB, which will please the accountant.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll come next week.
I don't know who we've got as demonstrator.
Find out. The email only normally goes out on a Monday or something, isn't it?
You may not get it this Monday because we've got a committee meeting, so we'll probably forget. I have reminded Steve Radford that we've got a committee meeting because the last time we had one, Steve wasn't told about it. But there we go. Right, is that an episode, boys?
I think so.
It is. Yeah.
Well, thank you for jumping on, and I'll see you both on Wednesday.
Yeah, all right, guys. Catch you later.
Nice one.
Take care, guys.
Ta-ra. See ya. Bye.